Good morning. This is Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years now. And I'm going through the lessons, asking Spirit to clarify for me, and then I'm writing whatever comes into my mind. This is one of the things that I do. I also facilitate ministers through their courses and our students through their courses to become a minister. And I also facilitate one-on-one and in groups some of the Pathways of Light courses, which help us to go deeper into the course, which are wonderful, by the way. Okay, so let's look at today's lesson. It's lesson 83. Today, let us review these ideas. Paragraph 1. My only function is the one God gave me. I have no function but the one God gave me. This recognition releases me from all conflict because it means I cannot have conflicting goals. With one purpose only, I'm always certain what to do, what to say, and what to think. All doubt must disappear as I acknowledge that my only function is the one God gave me. Paragraph 2, more specific applications of this idea might take these forms. My perception of this does not change my function. This does not give me a function other than the one God gave me. Let me not use this to justify a function God did not give me. Many parents now have found themselves in the position of having a child who is addicted to substances. This can be very painful and discouraging. Most of the time, parents strive with all their will to get the child to stop using. They try to talk sense into them or to force them into getting help. They try wheedling, guilting, arguing, bribing, anything they can imagine will change the situation. What I try to remember in every situation is that I have only the one function God gave me. It would never be that I was to change someone else's mind. I remember my purpose, and that forgiveness is how I achieved that purpose. In so doing, all conflict falls away. If I have one purpose, there is nothing to conflict with. If my purpose was to save someone, then I would have two purposes. I would have the purpose God gave me and the purpose of saving someone. They would conflict, and I would be uncertain what to do and what to say and think. I'm using this example of children and parents because it's so common, but this applies to every instance in which we would choose a second function. If I want to be at peace and happy, and if I want to remain awakened, I must become single-minded. I must choose the one function that is mine, given me by God. So if something occurs that disturbs my peace today, I will use this lesson to restore it. No matter how compelling the situation and the temptation to engage in it, I will remember the lesson. I will not use it to justify a function God did not give me. So paragraph 3, my happiness and my function are one. All things that come from God are one. They come from oneness and must be received as one. Fulfilling my function is my happiness because both come from the same source. And I must learn to recognize what makes me happy if I would find happiness. Some useful forms, paragraph 4, some useful forms for specific applications of this idea are: this cannot separate my happiness from my function. The oneness of my happiness and my function remains wholly unaffected by this. Nothing, including this, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. Whatever I think would take me from my one function, I must believe is more important. I would be wrong about that. I know that I would be wrong because I have experienced both many times. I've learned what would make me happy. I also understand the logic behind my choice for my one function. My function came from God, and so does my happiness. So it must be that my happiness and my function are one and the same. So if something happens today that draws me into some drama or another, I will remember my lesson. I will decide not to let that situation separate me from my happiness and my function. My happiness and my function remain wholly unaffected by that situation. Because I have practiced this for a long time, I've learned to trust forgiveness. I forgive the situation and it disappears. Sometimes I have to work at it a bit, reminding myself of my true function. Sometimes to release it, I have to sit in the emotion, looking at my thoughts with the Holy Spirit. But whatever I have to do, I do it. I've had enough peace and happiness to know I will not give them up. If I try to support two functions, I will be giving up my happiness. I'm not going to do that. Thank you for sharing this lesson with me. If you liked it, if it was helpful to you, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with another lesson.